Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about my homeschooling favorites from the summer semester. So basically all of the things that we have really been enjoying in our homeschool for the last few months, and I've compiled a few things here. Some of the things you guys have seen before, but they make a reappearance in our homeschool as my younger kids are interested in things, or sometimes other books just have new life, and so, or games, and so you pull them out and they're a favorite again. So I'm going to share some of our favorite things, and I'm going to just jump right in. So one of the things that we have really been loving this homeschool year are these mind benders, deductive thinking skills. This is by Critical Thinking Co. Right now I have my kids doing level 1, level 2, and level 3. So my kindergartner is doing level 1, my 3rd grader is doing level 2, and my 5th grader is doing level 3. They're a little, they're not super challenging to them. They're a little challenging, and so I definitely could have gone up a level for my older kids, but because we've never used these before, I just wanted to start at the entry level for their grade. These are amazing. I really love these. We do these all together, and basically it is, let me give you an example of one. So that's level 1. Let me go with Bella's level here. So it is how they earn money. So Angelo, Becky, Conrad, and Doreen are an actor, a ballet, a comedian, and a trapeze artist. Read the clues below to find each person's occupation. This will be fun. I'm gonna read the clues, and then you guys let me know in the comments below if you come up with the answer. Number 1, Doreen is not in show business. Number 2, neither Becky nor Angelo is the actor. Number 3, people never laugh when Becky is working. So there are things that don't seem super important in relationship to one another, but as you start working out the problem, sometimes you see that one word they used or one way they chose to write something made a huge difference. So there is the question. I'll leave that for you guys, and you guys let me know if you can come up with the answer, and I will let you guys know who is right. All right, so that is a definite favorite this semester. The kids really look forward to Fridays because Fridays are when we work on that. Next I have, let's see, what should I do next? Okay, I'll move on to games over here. This game, Dr. Eureka, I got on Prime Day. This has been so much fun. John and I have really enjoyed playing this with the kids. I'll show you how this works. So basically, it's like a bunch of little, it's a logic game. So it's a bunch of little test tubes, and each of you will get 3 test tubes, and you get 2 little balls of each color. There's purple, red, green. Yeah, so you get six little balls. And then you pull a card from the deck, and this is the formula you have to come up with. The way that we play is like the main way to play, which is everybody tries to make this. So you basically cannot touch the balls. You just have to pour from one little test tube to another until you make this combination. And it can be either standing straight up, or you can flip the beaker over to make the combination. So say the green was on top of the red, you can flip it over and you can still win. And then you just leave the little test tubes set how they are, and then you pull the next card, and everybody works from wherever they were in the question prior. With my younger ones, obviously we just all work to get it. We don't try to rush and beat each other, but that's a fun one, and we really like things that are helping them think outside of the box. I may have shown you guys this game last time, but this is the rush hour traffic game. This is a really fun one. So with this one, you have all the cars. You'll pull a card, and they'll tell you how to assemble all the cars on this, and then you have to move them around one by one in order to get the car, the red car I believe it is, out through this little exit. So here's the problem here. So this is how you'd set your board up, and then without lifting any cars up, the solution is written down on the back here. This is one of the expert level ones. They're not all that difficult, but we love this game. We like a lot of single player games in our homeschool because sometimes kids will finish, one of our family subjects early, and I'll just tell them to go pull something out of the bin. Next we have, you guys have seen these buzzers before. We really like using these buzzers in our homeschool, but I wanted to show them again with Brain Quest. So I got this on our road trip. This one is ages 7 and up, 1,100 questions and answers all about America. We are doing US geography and we're getting into American history a little bit now in our story of the world. So I picked this up because I thought it would be a great way. The playing field is level. Nobody has heard the majority of these questions before. We haven't studied any of these specific topics, but I'll read a question, they can answer on their buzzer. Because we haven't studied this, it's not multiple choice, but I will give multiple choice options and then they'll answer, and it opens up really great discussion. These Brain Quest games were actually something that I used to love when I was in elementary and middle school. I had this really great teacher and she turned Brain Quest into a kickball game. Then we'd go outside and play kickball with the Brain Quest questions. If you got the question right, she would throw you a pitch or roll you the ball or whatever, and then you'd run the bases. I really enjoyed that, and so pairing it with these makes for a really easy review game or a fun Friday game or something to break up the homeschool day. Now, while I'm talking about games, I'll show you something that I know I recently showed you. It is this Montessori Puzzle. I really like this. This is for Annabeth. There are some that are color-coded, but I chose to get the ones that were not color-coded. So this puzzle, these are little peg dolls, but they're different diameter and different depth. And so if you pull all of them out at the same time, now this one obviously, it's an easy one to figure out because they're all the same, or they're all different sizes. But this one, for example, they're all the same diameter, but they're all a different depth. And so they won't sit evenly if you put them in the wrong place. So this has been a really great puzzle. This one is actually one that all of my kids like to pull off the shelf and play with, but this is especially for my 2.5-year-old. And I really like it because it's neat looking on the shelf as well, which that's always a thumbs up from me. Another neat thing we've brought into our homeschool is for Poetry Tea Time. It's this Sips By box. Now, this is a monthly delivery service. This is not sponsored by them, but they will send you about 4 different teas to try each month. I do have a referral code. It's not an affiliate link. I'll put it below. It is for $5 off of your first box. You get your first box for $10. And for us, I think there's usually 4 servings of each of the 4 separate teas. And you take a little quiz, you tell them what you do and don't like. And so I like some loose leaf teas and I like some tea bags. So they will send you some loose leaf teas and little sachets if you don't have a way to make loose leaf tea. So for example, this particular month they sent us cookie tea, which is black tea, dark chocolate cookie. And it'll come with a little card about each of the teas. And Lavender Dew white tea. This was another one that's a loose leaf tea. It's 4 servings in there as well. And then they sent us 4 of these blueberry matcha tea individual serving bags. And whatever the other one was in this particular month, we actually brewed already, so I can't remember. I think it was a green tea, but that makes that certainly makes Poetry Tea Time more oops, sorry, there was Annie, Hurricane Annie. Anyway, so that certainly makes Poetry Tea Time much more exciting, especially if we let the kids select which tea they would like to do that day. And besides just for Poetry Tea Time, we enjoy it for, oh, it was a lavender tea. I just remembered what that was because last month when we got this box, we let the kids have one at bedtime, and that was the only non-caffeinated one, I believe. So that just has been a fun thing, a treat in our homeschool. This Adventurous Mailbox, you guys, I told you guys about it about 6 weeks ago, I want to say, and this has been such a good activity for my oldest daughter, definitely one for older elementary, young middle schoolers, or middle schoolers in general. This has been an independent activity for her. She has enjoyed it so much. Like I mentioned when I showed you in that particular video, kind of wanting her to learn some computer skills, coding skills, things that we haven't explored before, and this is such a fun way to do it. So this comes, you can either get the package where they're ebooks, or you can select the actual books, and it comes as an international package addressed to your child with stamps all over it. I'll put a link up here if you want to see the unboxing video. And then after they read these books that are set, you know, these international books, so for example, she just finished the first book, which was on Finland, then they can go online and go on these coding adventures related to the book they just read. I'm not going to do this justice, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera over to Bella and let her explain how this is going for her.
The Adventurous Mailbox is a package, and it comes in the mail. It has like a bunch of books and your secret code and like a letter, and you read the books and then you do a coding on each book, as in like Finland is the first book, and so you do a coding mission on that.
Are you enjoying using it? Do you feel like a big kid? What's extra special about this?
I love to code, and it's really fun to me, and I love to read, so it's perfect. If you're a beginner, you should use Scratch first, because that's what I did, and then when you get to the Adventurous Mailbox, it gets a little bit harder, so you have to know how to do the things first.
Okay, and does the Adventurous Mailbox do a good job walking you through it?
Yes.
Okay, so if you did not have the Adventurous Mailbox and it was Christmas, would this be a really good gift to get for Christmas or your birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would love it?
Yeah.
Nothing has taken me by surprise in our homeschool quite like how much Isabella has been loving using the Adventurous Mailbox and loving to code. So this is something that I'm super unfamiliar with, and I'm so thankful for this company. They did send this to me to use in an unboxing, but I'm deciding to share it again just because now that we've been using it for a while, I really want you guys to see it in action and just see, especially if you're like me and you're unfamiliar with coding, or maybe it's something that you're apprehensive about, how enjoyable it can be for your whole family. I love seeing her kind of just like grow up right before my eyes in homeschool, and this is the first thing that she's really done that hasn't been under my direction or hasn't been my choice, so to speak. So this is something that she's really enjoying. It's helping me see her more as an individual or an older student in our homeschool, and I'm really thankful that this is something that she loves so much. So they are going green, which means that they'll no longer be selling their physical copies of their books and sending the parcels in the mail. So they are having a huge sale right now to get rid of their physical inventory, and everything is going to be going digital. So that's exciting news for them and for us and for obviously our planet. So I'm gonna leave a link below where you can go check them out and check out the awesome sale they have going on right now. And thanks again to Andrew at the Adventurous Mailbox for sending this to my daughter. It really has been a big turning point in our homeschool, and we're both super thankful. All right, my next favorite is the Target dollar spot in general, but this gratitude pumpkin is super cute. I saw this on, I think I saw this on Ashley's channel from Grace and Grit, and so when I was at Target, I went looking for it because I never make it over on time for some of these super cute seasonal things. I actually also grabbed the basket of thanks, and it looks like a bushel basket, and there are apples, and I just thought, okay, this is the perfect activity for our team captain. So every morning our team captain not only does our little morning basket, but they also get to take an apple and write what they're thankful for, share it with the group, put it in the bushel basket. So I'm hoping that that will take us through the remainder of September and, you know, October, and then we'll do this one in November, and hopefully they'll come out with a great one for December, because I like the idea of having a little bit of gratitude each morning and giving the kids that opportunity just for one of them to say something that they're thankful for and speak in front of our class. So moving on to books, which are one of my favorite things to share. I've showed you guys these Lift the Flap adding and subtracting and Lift the Flap times tables books before, but in case this is your first homeschooling favorites, this is a really interactive way to make math fun. This is a lift the flap for big kids, so to speak, and we have the times tables one, adding and subtracting, first math, but we recently added, well, I didn't recently add this, but I recently pulled it out for the first time, the lift the flap fractions and decimals, just because of where my 5th grader is in math now. So most of these flaps are not lifted yet, but it's just so much fun. I think Osborne really has hit the nail on the head with some of these lift the flaps. So you've got what are fractions, you've got naming fractions, you've got fifths, sixths, sevenths, and there's a bunch of flaps to lift for each of them. Like tons and tons and tons. So I feel like you might not be able to see from a distance. And sorting fractions. I really like these lift the flap books personally myself, but I just think it makes it such a fun activity. You know, they're still little, and these kinds of interactive books are still so exciting to them, and I think it helps take the edge off if they're struggling with a certain math concept. You've got comparing fractions, so this is just a very simple way to enrich your math lessons, and I really wanted to show you guys this fractions and decimals book because I haven't shown you that before. I kind of have harped on the times tables books over and over again because it was so important. At the time that we got that book, it was so important to have my daughter use that to help her with review, and then it became, it's like the spine is completely disintegrating because we've used it so much over the last year and a half or so, and my son is using it now and they love it. There's a game in the back. Is there a game in the back of this one? Oh, it's a challenge in the back, so that's fun. So I'll put a link below for these, and then 2 more books to show you. I have this Optical Illusions book, which I couldn't find the day we were doing a day in the life. This has been a neat one to pull out during poetry tea time and kind of like break up our tea time a little bit, just a family activity. So my kids had never seen optical illusions before. Everything is on the internet nowadays, and so these good old-fashioned fun things that we used to play with, my kids haven't seen. So that's always exciting to them when I pull that one out. And then this Osborne Illustrated Alphabet. This was a gift for Eli last year, and we have been reading it a lot this year. It's so cute. So this goes through the zoo with each animal, but it's like a tongue twister. So let's see. B is for baboon. That baboons wanted a big box of bananas but had to make do with buns from the bin by the bench. And as I really harp on each letter that, you know, so the cockatoos were completely confused, the carrots were covered in caterpillars. They just think it's so funny, especially my younger two, and they're just rolling laughing, and then they're trying to say it too, and sometimes they mix up their words, and it's so funny. But it's really important to me that my youngest one, my 2.5-year-old, is hearing us really hit those letters hard, and it's really helping her start to pull those out. So I really enjoy this. And then of course, Eli is in kindergarten and he is learning to read, and so this is the perfect book to be reading again and again and again to him. I think we all have books that are really sealed in our mind and images of the alphabet. So I have the image of the alphabet that one of my teachers had on her wall, and I still see that in my head when I'm saying my alphabet. So these illustrations are beautiful, and I'm hoping that's something that my kids seal in their memory. And I've got one last thing to show you here. So this Snap Circuits Light has been a huge hit. This one I showed you as well in my Amazon Prime Day haul, but I set it out to show you a couple of days ago, and the way the homeschooling favorites thing always goes for me is I start to kind of compile things throughout the week. My kids can't touch it, and like, don't, if you move that from the pile, I'm gonna forget to show it in my video, so please don't touch that right now. And of course, the Snap Circuits are such a big hit. They're all over my floor now from me having this out. So this one is really neat, especially if your kids are already into Snap Circuits. It could also be a beginning Snap Circuit set, but I would recommend one of the smaller sets to start with. But this is so fun. It's got fiber optics. It's just all light up activities, and this is a great one if they're having friends over. So my son absolutely loves that. And I wanted to make sure to show you guys in case you're thinking of holiday gifts. It's gonna be a great one if your kids are really into things like that. So those are the things that we have really been enjoying in our homeschool for the last couple of months. I would love to know if you guys have any particular book or game or puzzle or toy that has just been a big hit in your home. Let me know in the comments below. I love getting new ideas from you guys, and I'm sure everybody else would love to scroll through the comments and see that as well. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say, and I will see you soon. Bye.